The mystery drone phenomenon seems to have faded from national attention, but it is still going on. We still don't have any answers about it, other than the BS line that we've gotten from the White House that it's FAA approved vehicles for research and other purposes. What those purposes are, we have not been told. Now, could they be Russian or Chinese drones? Could they be aliens? Well, let's talk about it all. So get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I'll talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. So yeah, here Mark von Rennekamp, who says the phenomenon is still going on, is asked if they could be, for example, Chinese drones.
My analytic brain tends to doubt that theory because the Chinese, if you can just look this up, right? They've struggled with basic jet engine technology. They copy and steal, frankly, a lot of the technology that they put out from the United States. When they put out a new fighter, it just looks exactly like our previous generation of fighters. But look, I'm open to any possibilities. But when you think about the behavior and kind of the brazen display of this, I don't think any country would just float and highlight for all military eyes to see its most advanced technology for 17 nights, for example, over an Air Force base, a critical Air Force base.
Talking about Langley there, it's really interesting to hear Mark talk about all of this stuff because he conflates the mystery drones, the known drone-like objects, with the orbs over the Omaha and other more anomalous, more obviously anomalous incidents. So he totally is putting the mystery drones under the umbrella of what I would term NHI or truly anomalous objects, which I think is a really interesting way to approach it. But I think it's totally on point because the behavior of these drones totally mirrors what the phenomenon has been doing with examples like the Omaha, where you have these, orbs, swarming over our warships and so on, just as the mystery drones, swarm over our military installations on land. Well, really intriguing. Great research from Mark. He does say there is some hysteria, and a lot of these incidences are just planes and helicopters. But he is on this, and he sees this as a significant problem that has still not been rectified. But what are these things? Well, James Hotchkiss, who is a member of the Skywatcher team, one of the psionics, said he went out with his family to look at these drones. And here is his take on it. Here's his experience.
Yeah, so I live in New England. While New Jersey was having that major drone flap, we were also having that here along the further up on the New England coast. And the vibe was very different. Like it didn't feel like one thing. Like, I've done contact events, in various places, and a lot of those contact events, like it almost engenders like this real introspective, like philosophical feeling, like contemplating the mysteries of the universe with your friends. It felt different up here during that time period. I think it was from like November to January when New Jersey and everywhere else were having all the drones. And so I went out with my wife and kids, and they wanted to see the drones. And we saw a few of them in the distance. And my wife was like, "Do you think you can get one to show up?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's try it as a family." And so I told them what to do. I walked them through kind of my ABC, and one of them appeared a couple hundred feet, maybe like 300 feet, like at tree level. And it was startling. It's the first time I've ever been like, oh my God, it was so close.
Yeah.
And it didn't have that like introspective, etheric quality to it. It felt very different. And like others have said in the news, like this isn't one thing. It's a little bit of, perhaps foreign adversary, perhaps US technology, but there's a third bit there that seems to be something different that did not feel like any of my other contact experiences.
Really intriguing. So, it didn't have this etheric quality that he seems to associate with anomalous craft, but it also was weird, and it came when he summoned it. He's part of this team from Skywatcher that summons objects psychically. I don't think a Chinese or Russian drone would come when called psychically, but hey, I could be wrong. If you know of any drones that come when called psychically, let me know. Meanwhile, Jake Barber, speaking of the Skywatcher team, is also talking about the mystery drones. He says, New Jersey drones. Here are a couple of videos I can share taken on our personal phones back in December of objects showing up in and around the airspace over Picatinny Arsenal. A couple of reasons for alarm, or at least to take an interest. In the first video, you will see objects appear to materialize and dematerialize, and then hover with no FAA lighting systems. Watch second video, Scope Shadow, until the end. You will see regular aircraft fly by in the background for reference of what FAA-approved traffic in the area should look like. All of the suspicious objects are operating in violation of FAA regulations and were not being controlled by ATC. They have no red and green navigation lights, no strobe, are operating at unauthorized altitudes in restricted airspace. Very interesting. So, unauthorized altitudes in restricted airspace, not FAA approved craft.
Oh, there's another one.
Yep. I can't tell if that bottom one is playing or
Oh, there's another third one. Nope, that was one of them.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool. I mean, they don't look very drone-like to me, but a lot of these mystery drones, or at least I've shown several videos with you guys of drones that seem to materialize from orbs, or they were orbs, and then they transformed into mystery drones. So, is that what these things are? Are they the orbs that would become mystery drones? Jake seems to be equating this with the mystery drones, even though they look more like anomalous orbs to me. But let me know what you guys think of these things. Meanwhile, Wixie is sharing, a more conventional mystery drone and says they're still here. This is April 9th. Okay, so that is supposedly a mystery drone filmed very recently in New York. I don't know what this phenomenon is. It seems very anomalous. It's hard to explain by any mundane, reason or any mundane means. And they've been shutting down airports, not just in America, but around the world. And I've shared those stories with you guys. Some of them seem to be transforming from orbs. People are, filming them all over still today, been going on for months, going on for years, since at least, 2019, 2020. That's when it first really began in Colorado with these drones that are actually, they look like drones. What are they actually? Who knows? I don't understand, how the government can claim their FAA approved craft, why anybody would buy that. They're shutting down airports, shutting down military installations, having to relocate fighter jets from one base to another because of the mystery drone activity over a certain base. There's a lot of effort and expense to relocate fighter jets because of this activity. Clearly not FAA approved craft. However, as soon as they came out with that, the media stopped asking questions about it. So the lie seems to have worked. People don't want to talk about UFOs. So you give them, some stupid explanation and they say, oh, okay, I guess the question has been answered, right? We don't have to talk about it anymore. Thank God we don't have to talk about it anymore. So I think that's kind of what happened. Either that or there's some edict that came down and, this is the narrative we're going with, and don't ask us any more questions, and nobody has. But hopefully we will get answers on this. I do understand why the administration isn't being honest about this, because to admit that these things are anomalous, that these are NHI, would be pretty much catastrophic disclosure. This is gonna be how you're gonna lead off with UFO disclosure. These objects that we cannot control, that are shutting down our Air Force bases and forcing us to relocate planes. We can't do anything about these objects that are worldwide and causing disruptions in our airspaces. We are helpless against these objects. Yeah, probably not the best, foot to lead with on UFO disclosure. I get it. But it is very unfortunate that we are in this situation where the government has been lying about this for so many years. They have painted themselves into a corner with these lies. And, now they have to continue to lie. You have to say one lie to cover up another lie, the tangled web they weave. But if they had been honest 80 years ago, they could be honest now and the public would be prepared for it. Oh, look, some UFOs doing their thing, shutting down some bases. Oh, well. Maybe we can go do some C5 and interact with them, consciously communicate with them, see what's up. But that's not where we are. They've lied about it for so long. They have to continue lying about it. But hopefully, Skywatcher will give us some answers. And because it isn't affiliated with the government, but they are doing it scientifically. And if they can get that peer reviewed, accepted by mainstream science, and then have that influence the political landscape, maybe we can actually get government disclosure or, acknowledgement of this activity, because then they won't have to admit their own wrongdoing. Either way, what do you think the mystery drones are? Where does this phenomenon end? Does it have an endpoint? Is it just going to go on forever until the government discloses or some end is met by whatever these objects are doing? Are they operational? Are they doing some operation or mission that when it's accomplished will, the phenomenon will end? Or will, once that, mission is accomplished, will it launch the next stage of their operation? So let me know what you think about it all in the comments below. Like and subscribe, hit the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media, Facebook and Twitter, links below. Love to see you guys there. If you want to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, consider grabbing a coffee mug or a t-shirt in the merch store below, or by becoming a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you. Meanwhile, there's plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.